I can't stop crying. Today, I found out that my ex was having sex with other girls while we were in a break. We broke up in good conditions. We were both super busy and barely had time for each other. We decided to have a break because we were getting stressed, and like I said, we barely talked. We had a huge argument today where he told me to move on, as if it was that easy. Then he told me he was interested in another girl and have been sleeping around. He gives me mixed emotions now. I don't know if he loves me or genuinely he doesn't care about me and wants to hurt me. I have never felt this feeling. I've been crying for hours. I just can't stop thinking about him being with another girl while I was patiently waiting for him. I love him so much and I honestly didn't see myself with someone else other than him. Now we are talking. It's weird. It's like he loves me but doesn't want to say it, or he loves me but he is interested in another girl. At this point I don't know what to think or what to do. Any advice? Edit number 1. We both males. I'm 20, he is 25. Edit number 2. He told me about having sex with other girls so I could move on faster, and that actually made me feel worst. Edit number 3. Thank you so much for everyone for commenting on this post. I still want to confront him. Edit number 4. I have finally blocked him. Delete our pics and pretty much block his friends, since they remind me of him, but it's not even enough for me to feel better. Edit number 5. Thank you so much to those who are wishing the best for me. Although there's too many comments, I would like to say thank you. I will try my best to move on, get myself together and try to be happy. It might take me a while, but with time, I'll make sure he regrets his decision. Please stop interacting with him, at all. He has moved on. You must do the same. But that can't happen if you continue to talk to him. His is showing you that he doesn't care about you. This is why exactly breaks are always a terrible idea. From one person, it's usually a temporary pause, while for the other person it's a proper break-up. You need to accept that it's over, remove him from your life, and focus on yourself and your own life and growth and social circle. We were on a break. But seriously, you effectively broke up by taking a break and he's moved on. I don't believe in breaks. Either we broke up and move forward. Why put my life on hold where there are other people out there looking for the same things I want to pursue? Honestly bro, he been wanted to fuck other people. Can we talk about how he's 30 and you are only 20? Yeah, he moved on to another young person he can take advantage of. Oh man, love yourself honey. You don't need a man to validate your worth. Cut him off for your own sake. It's gonna hurt like a bitch, but he's very clearly shown you just how much you mean to him if he's willing to give up all the effort and time you've spent together for a few minutes with some girl he probably just met. Instead of taking the break as a time to reflect on the relationship like you had, he saw it as a green light to do whatever he wanted. He will continue to do so until you're completely emotionally drained. Focus on the relationships you have outside of him, friends, family, career, especially the relationship you have with yourself. Actions speak louder than words. If he wanted to, he would. You both mentioned you are both males. So he is bi then? Should I give my husband another chance now he's clean? Or file for divorce? Sorry if you have seen previous posts. I was with my husband for 9 years. He has a cocaine addiction. It went on for 2 years. I had to kick him out to effectively save his life and save my sanity. 5 weeks has passed. He is clean and believes strong he has had a revelation and only wants to improve his life, not destroy it further. He says he has beaten his addiction and will continue to beat it every day. I'm so close to allowing him to come back home. But perhaps I would be an utter loony to be so convinced, but I do think he's done very well. Please help before my gullible self makes a choice. Tears of joy. Addict here, in recovery for 12 years 5 weeks is both a monumental achievement and absolutely nothing at the same time. Keep encouraging him to get healthy, but recognize that he is very, very early in the process and he shouldn't be claiming victory yet. Do you know if he has a sponsor he is in regular contact with? 5 weeks isn't very long. I would give it more time before giving him a chance. Before you talk it through or make a decision, come up with a list of demands, deal breakers that you want from him before you agree to continue the relationship. Such as frequency of drug testing to prove he's clean. Therapy, marriage counseling or drug counseling like DAA USA. You might want to set him on a fixed weekly budget so he can't be spending money on drugs. Friends, if he is clean, he will need to stay away from friends, family that are using. Think of what matters to you and what you need to continue the relationship. Sorry to say, but addicts will say or do whatever they can to continue the behavior. I've had to deal with addicts in my family and only hard boundaries work. Letting anything slip could lead to relapse and you have to be firm but fair. That's true love. Cool, he can continue to beat it every day and show you that he can stay clean for longer than 5 weeks, right? What do you want to do? 5 weeks isn't a long time, but to get to 10 years, you first have to get to 5 weeks. You could keep the door open to further forgiveness in say another 5 weeks clean. Or whatever time period you choose. I think this requires baby steps. Addiction is a lifelong disease. I think you should take this very slow to be sure you can trust him again. Maybe the two of you should come up with goals. Like make goals over maybe a 2, 4, or 6 month period. This is where we want to be in this amount of time, then a goal for the next time frame. Until you're back to feeling totally comfortable that you can trust him and he can learn how to communicate when he's having a hard time. I'd also educate yourself about having an addict partner, what to look for and how to properly support you both. Addiction is serious and difficult to stay on top of, it takes continuous work. Give it time, get educated and get support. Spoiler. Addicts are extremely manipulative and secretive even in recovery. All that has to be unlearned as it was a way of life all through the act of addiction. The behavior doesn't stop just because he stopped using. 5 weeks is a drop in the bucket of recovery, more time required. I hate my wife's best friend. They work together, they hang out after work together and have drinks. Her best friend is married and has also admitted to cheating on him multiple times. She treats him like absolute shit when I'm public. When we all go out, her best friend will flash random men her boobs and dance on men as well. At our wedding, her husband sexually assaulted my mother and other women during the event. He was asked to leave and things got messy, resulting in him getting his ass beat. They called the cops and tried to sue. She told me that her best friend is bad for herself to grow up as well as our marriage. Today she tells me she's grabbing drinks with her best friend after work. I'm pissed. What do? Sorry op, but your wife is a reflection of her friend. The idea that she is just sitting there all prim and proper with Sodom and Gomorrah going on all around her is, quite frankly, ridiculous. No one ever dragged Mother Teresa out to a bar. Your wife's friend is not the problem op. Recognize this, and you're halfway there. Good luck. Took me 20 years to work out my wife's obnoxious best friend was never the problem. It was she chose not to remove her from her life against the wishes of literally everyone else. When we divorced, I learned it was because birds of a feather. Once I realized this, I gave her a simple choice: friend goes or marriage over. I've not spoken to her for 4 years now. At our wedding, her husband sexually assaulted my mother. What exactly more are you needing other than this? Do you not love your mom or have self-respect? Or respect for your family? What do you need? We are all the gatekeepers for our people when it comes to our significant others. A good partner does not let their friends or family treat you poorly. Full stop, period, no fucking exceptions. Well, there is a saying. Birds of the same feather flock together. Friend out or relationship over. Simple. The friend is obnoxious, but befriending a person like that and indirectly supporting that type of actions is even more disgusting. Here's the thing. She is befriending people who has something to do with the abuse of your mother. That itself should be a deal breaker. Have some self-respect and protect yourself and your family. You show up and go with her. Surprise. That is what I would do. As much as I hate ultimatums. Give one to her. You become friends with a rich man and you'll become rich. You become friends with someone who is nothing but chaos, you will become chaotic. Really examine your wife? Why does she accept these major character flaws of her friend? Be honest with yourself. Maybe your wife is classed as what I would say as low maintenance. Meaning she follows the rules, doesn't drink too much. Basically she is the complete opposite of a thrill seeker. But by being friends with her, she gets to experience that wild side without actually partaking herself. Or maybe she's a really good liar. You'll never know unless you ask further. He tried to cheat on me, and got rejected. A bit of backstory. My boyfriend, 22 male, and I, 24 female, moved in together last October. Ever since we first started dating, we enjoyed having the odd drink together, date nights, bars, etc., which was always enjoyable and ended pleasantly. Over time, he began telling the most pointless and ridiculous lies whilst drunk. Naturally, it began to play with my head. He recently started playing pool on Wednesdays with his brother, who is a known cheater, General Poss. They usually get drunk during and then come home reasonably early. This Wednesday just gone, his mobile died around 11 p.m. I tried to reach out to his brother around midnight, who lied on my boyfriend's behalf, saying they'd spent the rest of the night drinking over his place. I come to find out that they had gone over some 40-year-old woman's house with a mutual friend and carried on drinking. My BFF's brother left at 2 a.m. and my boyfriend stayed. He came home at 5:30 a.m. absolutely wasted, claiming that he passed out on the way home and had woken up some hours later. The woman somehow ended up texting me today to say that he had gone back to her place that night to find his lost keys but stayed for a drink, then tried it on, with her by slapping her butt, tried to kiss her, and pull her onto his lap, though she quite literally rejected him. He claims to have no recollection of the evening, which I believe to an extent given the state of him when he got home. I'm stuck on what to do, as we're so compatible when he's sober. He will rectify any drunken lie before I even address it and be so embarrassed and confused by his own BS. Except, he had never tried to be unfaithful until now. He has since cut his brother off, as they're mutually bad for each other. Decision not influenced by me, and promised not to drink other than on special occasions and around good people. It seems unrealistic and I don't want to waste my time, especially as he usually drinks at least once a week. I keep having to remind myself that if she was as desperate as he was that night, he would have cheated. Yet I know he'd had never got into that situation if sober. It's so unlike him. Any advice is appreciated. Personally, I think this is basically cheating. For one, the intent was obviously there, which is already pretty bad. For two, he apparently groped this woman, so something physical happened. And for the icing on top, it sounds pretty goddamn creepy the way he went about it. Like grabbed her ass, tried to kiss her, tried to pull her onto his lap. How many times do you think she said, no, during all that? Yeah. It's not sounding good. I guess my next question is, do you think he has a drink problem? Because when someone says something like, when he's sober, that's where my mind goes. It makes it sound like he's not sober often enough. But maybe I'm reading too much into that. Why are you dating the human equivalent of a litter box full of cat shit? Sounds like you made enough excuses for his actions. Given that, I don't see what type of advice you're looking for. LMFAO, that's what the fuck he gets. You owe it to yourself to stop trying to justify what he did. He did it, so it is like him. He's obviously not as far removed from his brother as you thought. You can do better. Dump him. He only learned that he has to be smarter next time, and the next girl most likely won't text you. His brother will return in a month tops and they will hang out cause his brother had changed. Wow, you sound like his lawyer. Welp, sounds like he's not getting laid by you or her, because is singly. Ha 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 ha. OMG, the pure joy and cackling that just emitted from me when I read he was rejected by the would-be affair partner. Karma was quick with his ass rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing. You know the answer, op. Leave his ass and find you someone that deserves you, queen. Heart.